Well, I think every competitor will tell you that they love the competition, they love the camaraderie, they love the travel, and they love winning. I mean, standing up on that podium, watching that American flag go to the top of the pole, hearing that national anthem, definitely is addicting and has you coming back again and again. So shooting was just something that was passed down generationally in my family. My grandfather was a houndsman, and he took my dad out every Saturday and Sunday, and of course that was passed on to my mom, and my mom and dad both passed it on to me. And getting ready for a local dove hunt, I was going out to the club, and the guy said, "Hey, you know, we got a club shoot going on, would you like to join?" And I actually did pretty well, and then it was the state and the world, and just kind of kept mushrooming from there.
We're here at Nilo Farms, and I got the one and only Kim Rhode here. Kim, how are you?
Oh, it's great to be here. I'm super excited. Can't wait for us to start to do some shooting.
Yes, absolutely. Now she's going to show me some skeet tips here. Now, what's the first tip?
Well, I guess like everybody says, don't miss.
Yes.
No, no, really. I mean, really, there's a lot of things that go into it, but I mean, just some of the basics are your whole life you've been taught to point. Look at that house, look at that car, or look at that dog, and when you point at something, you tend to be right on it. So one of the best tips is you want to put your finger either on the side or underneath your fore-end and use your finger as an extension of your barrel to point at that target. It'll give you like one or two more around, which is something that none of us will turn down.
Yes.
Another piece of advice is, you know, wood to wood, as we like to say, keep your head down on your cone, make sure that you're lined up and literally following through with each and every shot. I mean, that follow through has to be there, that head has to be down, and that finger out, and all those combined will hopefully make you successful at hitting some of these targets.
Let's face it, we either win by one or we lose by one. And knowing that everything's on that line in that moment, and being able to, I say, rein yourself in and focus and calm yourself down and hit that target, that's really what the game is about. And I think at the same time has us coming back again and again.
So one of the best stations to start on in American skeet or international skeet is station 7. A lot of people think that you have to shoot a whole round. Well, when you're learning, the best station to start on is station 7, because you have the low house here and it's going straight away from you and you want to aim right on it. So it's one of your more easier shots, but it's also that beginner shot that starts to teach you about lead and whole point, and that's all very important in American skeet. Now, I was talking earlier about pointing and putting your finger on the side of your fore-end, and so this is a great way to kind of practice that, especially on this low house. So I'm going to go ahead and put 2 shells in. Actually, if you're beginning, you want just 1, but because I've done this once or twice, I'm going to go ahead and load 2. You're going to see me close the gun, finger out nice and straight. You have the option of either mounting the gun or doing a low gun. I'm going to shoot at low gun because that's how I practice. Pull. And that's essentially what it looks like. Look at where that bird's going and kind of get an idea as where you're going to break it. The idea is to break it over the trap house about halfway, especially for the first bird. The second bird is going to be somewhere over here. So that's where you line your feet up. It's for that second bird. Okay, if you're shooting a single, then you face more towards where you're going to break that single. But on a double, it's always for the second so that you can follow through. Okay, now the rule of thumb is every station has a lead. It's like passing that football to somebody. When you're throwing that football and you got that runner gonna catch it, you can't aim right at him because the ball will always be behind him. You gotta be in front of him. We're on station 7. High house is approximately 1 foot ahead of it. Okay, low house is right on. Okay, so just basically cover the bird. And when I say that, you want to make the bird crystal clear and make your barrel kind of fuzzy, and that's how you see your lead. Okay, you're aware of your barrel, but the bird is always clear.
Always be on the bird.
Always, eye is always on the bird.
Hey everybody, John Parker here, Shooting Sports USA, and today we have professional sporting clay shooter Desiree Edmonds, who's going to show me a couple of tips on how to become a better sporting clay shooter.
We've actually got a 5 stand behind us. That's what we're going to shoot today. It's very similar to sporting clays. One thing about sporting clays is we've got a variety of angles and speeds and distances. There's nothing that's consistent in terms of station to station or course to course. So with sporting clays, there's a big skill level to learn. There's a lot of different speeds and leads, as you might talk about, to learn. So there are a few things that we can do as a beginner shooter to kind of speed that process up or build a good fundamental base. One of those major tips would be gun mount, proper gun mount and stance. That's the start of everything. How you mount the gun, making sure everything's lined up, where your feet are pointed, and if your body is able to rotate. Again, in sporting clays, we have a big angle. We have a lot of variety of speeds. So we want to make sure that we have enough room to rotate our body.
Everybody who shoots has been that beginner at one point. The beauty of shooting is the community. Everyone is there to help you. If you have a question, ask it. If you're unsure, ask for some guidance. Everyone will be there to help you, I promise you that.
Bad posture is good form. It's okay to get down and forward. And then you want to think about touching your nose to your thumb. So when you mount the shotgun, you don't want to do this. You want to be forward. Okay, forward on that gun. Okay. Let's take a look. The second big tip I would definitely be giving today is a visual part of the game, looking at the clay target. It sounds super simple, but it is so hard to do, okay? Seeing the clay target when we pull the trigger is the most important thing. So when we call pull and the target goes into the air, that might not necessarily be the time that we need to be hard focusing on the bird. It might be later in the flight path, because again, in sporting clays, we have a lot of timing elements. We don't shoot as soon as the target comes out like you might in trap, okay? And then the third tip that we're gonna work on is what we're doing more with the shotgun, okay? And I use the term kind of matching the speed. So when we've got that shotgun mounted and the bird's going into the air and we're trying to hard focus on that clay target, we want to try and get that shotgun matched up with the speed of the target, okay? When your shotgun is going the same speed as the clay target, it gives us a better opportunity to look hard at the target when we pull the trigger, and ideally, we have more success and break more clays.
When you first start, getting a lesson is important. Yes, it ensures you have proper gun mount. It ensures you have proper technique just in your equipment and moving the shotgun. So getting a lesson shortens that learning curve immensely.
Pull.